All right, everybody. Yeah, I know this is weird. Badger doing a stream this early, but yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're going to be doing a nice little live stream where I'm going to be just building and chilling out here. We got a nifty little background going on here. Might be joined by some other people here before long. I don't know. But to give you an idea, I've got this nice little platform out here. We've got a very nice backdrop to what we're doing. This is a platform here is just for random building crap. I think we're going to build something rather big. This is just to sit here. Hey, yo, Lips, how you doing? I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plop in some power and a survival kit. That way, people can just, if someone hops in here in a minute, I think Bundy was planning on coming. He can just hop right in here, and we can just go right. He can just go right to building. All right, and survival kit. There we go. Just started, I see. Yes, yes, just started. My plan here is to build a ship today of some type. I don't know what we're building, but we're gonna try. Uh, we're gonna see where my mind just takes me today. I'm wanting some hydrogen, and we're gonna start with some simple things. We're gonna start, and I've already got my armor blocks all set up on pages 8 and 9 of the tabs, so they're just right across the page. I can just run right over there and grab them. It's just something I do. You don't have to do it yourself. It's just something I do. Let's see. I wanted to make a survival ship, and I think I'm gonna try and make it. I want to do something Star Wars themey, and I think that's where we're gonna be going. Leps was just playing to start for get ready for bed, but I guess I'll have to stick around a bit longer. LOL. Hey, just stay around whenever you can. Just remember, these are live streams, so you're seeing it live. You want to watch it later? That's fine. I don't care. This is kind of what right now. I'll tell you all this right now. The reason why I'm probably gonna be pushing more live streams because live streams are what's doing the best on the channel so far. Now, the um the survival series that I'm doing is starting to pull people. It's starting to pull some people into it, and I am moderately surprised at how many people are coming in. So, like the first video has just tipped 400 viewers, which normally I get a lot of my big viewership. The viewership has kind of been down. Of course, that's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's holidays. You're gonna be with people. Loves here, especially since I am really close to completely effing up my sleep schedule since Christmas. Yes, 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 yes. Um, that has been the thing. Since me and the guys have been playing, I've now gotten to a point where as we're doing gameplay, I'm just pulling up the fun stuff that happens during the stream, or well, as we're doing a recording session, and we do a recording session on Saturdays. Whichever one of the guys can show up. We've had a couple of videos with a full crew. We're running skeleton crews on some episodes, so there'll be a stint where there'll be just me and two other guys, and there's a stint in there where it's just me and Gomer, and then there's a stint where it's me, Gomer, Bundy, Eli, Dog, Grexion. Like we got a full effing crew of pirates, and we're going out there just snatching stuff. GG, yeah, GG. That's what's going on. So far it's been pretty good. We're just running like a modded survival series. We still haven't figured out the stupid harp. We had a problem last night. We started using the harpoon mod that I had on there and it didn't work. And I'm just looking at that like, come on, I know it works. Why is it not working? So I got to figure out what the problem with the harpoon guns is. And I may be missing there may be something I'm missing. I don't know. There may be a block or something that's added on here that I may not know what's going on. Rating party? Oh yeah, the future episodes. If you do the membership, which is like 99 cents a month, it's next to nothing. I do that cheap just because that on itself, I figure eventually I will get enough people giving into that I can probably run up to $100 a month. So far, uh, we've got 4 members, and I am planning on doing something with those members. If they have the ability to get on with me and can do, I have to see if they're all on PC. So we're either going to do a big ship fight like you see Aaron or Captain Jack do, where they bring in a bunch of ships from like a series, like a sci-fi or something, and then we start hammering away with it, do some kind of modded mission or something. Or if we don't have that, then I don't know. We may just throw some ships in there and have like a weird battle, or just have a build off or something like that. So I've got membership is one of the, it's there's going to be some stuff that helps out with membership eventually. So I'm hoping to do that. But right now, this is just first episode of the Sunday build stream. Where, where's the? I want that. Where I'm gonna be building some stuff, and I'm just gonna be talking with y'all and chilling out and all that good stuff. Well, let's go up here a little bit high, and I don't know. Let's juke on out here for a little bit because I want to build. There's a ship I'm building in survival, and I kind of want to run through it. I'm doing my own survival thing privately, and this is a survival ship. I'm wanting to make it an actual survival ship that works. It's only a bit sad that most subscribers are credit card only. Oh, no, no, no. Like that's the purpose of the membership. Like right now I've got enough of the pirate stream beef in the last 3 weeks to run an episode a week all the way to February. Like we're gonna get the first season of that done before the year is out. I figure before we even get to February, we'll have most of the season done. So you'll have an entire 12 months, 3 to 4 episodes a month will be up there and ready to go. And then we're probably going to take like a small break. I'm going to figure some stuff out, maybe see if I can make that playthrough a little bit better, tool some stuff, and then the next season will be even better and we'll already be starting on that. So it's like if you want to binge that nonsense that's already up there, 99 cents, you can watch all those episodes. And there's like, good God, how many episodes do I have on that? I want to say we're up to 12 episodes and we've only gotten through like 3 or 4 of them so far. And after this, if I can pull the same numbers, because there's some fun stuff that happened in the last build stream. No, no pirate actions or anything. It's just we had to save Dog because his ship went out of power. Then we had several other issues that we had to solve. We managed to get drones up and running, so we had some adventures with the drones going nuts. So that's the last record. That's just in the last recording session. So let's see here. I'm gonna make. This is kind of what I've been doing. About 4 of those. And I like these new thrusters that we've got. There, here we go. Foregut thrusters pulling down. This is going to be a pretty good size ship I'm building right here. Anything in mind or just building as you go? I have an idea. We'll just, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just going to let y'all see where it goes and see if y'all can figure out what it is before I get it built. So I want to say this is where I want to put some gyros at. Well, I don't have any gyros in the actual deal, so we're going to load up some light armor here. I'm going to fill this with some light armor because I don't. I know I'm sitting here doing this the hard way. Let me just grab this here and we'll do this the easy way. Slap down blocks in mass. But I have actually been building this ship in survival, but I've hit a point where I don't know where I can go with it. I'm trying to figure out how it will go much further. So I want to say go to there. I want to say I went there and like so. And then I just kind of wrapped the thing. So we're going to see if we can, first thing I'm going to do, I need to put some kind of corridor right here. Because I need that to keep everything in check. There. That'll give us some up armored and some protected thrusters right there. So now, with that out of the way, and I know exactly how this is going to go down, we're going to activate the old mirror tool here. And thus, with that, I'm going to be able to have a little bit easier time putting this thing together because I don't have the mirror tool in game. Don't think I'm going to need that one there. And because those are already up there, that's not going to have too much of an effect on things. So let's go to number 3 here. All right, that's cool. That puts like just 2 little runs right there. And I've already got most of the blocks already laid down, which took me a long time. I built most of this in a day. Built 3 of these in a day with a hand welder. That was horrifying. Like, don't know how it is in the US, but here in the Netherlands, people don't really use credit cards. Um, I'm not a person who uses credit cards that often if I can help it. I see that there's like all kinds of traps with those. I'm just gonna tell you right there. Credit cards can get you in a whole lot of trouble if you're not, you know, careful with how you're running or maintaining that. It's very easy because you have pretty much money on demand. It's very easy to just grab that thing and say, yeah, I can just buy this, this, and that, and you will get in some serious trouble real fast financially. I've seen too many people just lose out and mess up. And I've tried my best not to be that kind of person. So we got this here. We also got this little detail system right here. Let me let's see if we can do this, that, and boom, that's done. So we got that section figured out. I need to go from up here and start just a straight line downward slope from here. Like I said, I wanted to build a pretty good sized survival ship. Yeah, at least upgraded welder. I have a single upgraded welder because mostly that survival world, I'm just running through there trying to get as many suit parts as possible. And there's no mods, it's all vanilla, and I'm just flying out there every time a signal comes up, and I'm just running the lottery to see what I can get my hands on. So I'm just trying to get as many as I can. I probably need to increase the encounters. If I could increase the unknown signals, that would help because then I can get more stuff. Paying with money you don't have. Also, how you like the new thrusters? I love the new thrusters. And you're right. Paying with money you don't have is exactly that's exactly the kind of nightmare that you end up in. Because a lot of, and especially kids, a kid should not have a credit card. Not until they're much older and paid on some stuff. And I'm not being crude about it. I'm just saying the way a credit card company runs, they go to a kid and they're like, hey, how would you like to go out and be the talk of the town? And what they sell is not something for emergencies. They're selling a finance thing that when you get it is going to cause you a lot of difficulty if you're not careful. I especially but with the new thrusters, I especially like the way those thrusters operate. Now let's see. I think I can do this and that, and boom. Man, that's much faster. Cause this entire nonsense took me about 2 hours to weld up because at the same time I'm trying to build this, I've got it attached to a ship, to my survival ship that I'm currently running. That's attached on the left side of the ship, and then on the right side of the ship, I've got another ship that I am salvaging in the process to make this. So not only was I welding this up, I was grinding down the other deal so it could make it work out. Truly, it sucks. Now, there's a difference in the way I want to do this particular ship. And I'm trying to figure out how I can do this without effing everything up. Okay, here's what we'll do. We're just going to, since most of this that I'm going to be pulling is going to be deleted, a lot of it is just going to be stuck to the side. So we're going to grab just that amount there because I'm going to add another thruster to the front here, but not on this side. So we'll go from here. And what I want to do is we're going to attach this right here. Now the real fun is I'm going to have to take this whole section and I don't know if this will work or not. I don't know if it'll give me the length I need, is what I mean to say. It probably won't. I would probably be better off. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I almost wonder if I wouldn't be better using um, just straight up one blocks. Uh-oh, that's not attached no more. Okay. Thought this was going to be easy. Not getting as easy as I hoped it would be. Let's see about some armor blocks here. There should be an armor block here that's like halfway, I want to say. Man, this one. How's that look? No. There we go. That one looks interesting. The problem with Space Engineers is no matter what you do in this game, you don't have there's a certain angle that you need. Howdy Badger, how you doing? Elijah, how you doing? The flame looks also so much better than the original. Yeah, it looks like you're dealing something I've noticed with the new thrusters. If you look at them, they've got radiation hazards on them, like they're nuclear thrusters of some type. So that is a thing. How far will this take me? It's not going to take me the distance I want it to go. I don't know. I might be better off stair stepping it down, which I hate to do, but it may be my only option at the moment. So let's stretch these out here, and we're going to have to stair step it, it looks like. Just to get the length I want. I don't like stair stepping. For those of you that don't know, I detest having to do that. And this is probably where things are going to get stupid. Because looking at it, there's no way I can attach that to that block from there. Jeez, that is annoying. Oh, that is very annoying. So stair stepping, I'm almost going to have to add a full block there just to stair step that next one down. And then from here to there. From there. And then just... And that's going to probably be the end of that. And that's pretty wide for what I'm wanting to do. I just wish I didn't have this right here. I wish I could just run that at a longer angle, straight angle down. That's what we need to do. We need to ride it at Keen until they give us better angles. Okay. Now I need to run a connection here. Let's look at connection ports. I also have half of mine. What I might do. Can I put anything up there? No, I can't. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna run this across here like so. And I'm gonna give myself just a bit more length. So we can strap on yet another hydrogen tank and do the same thing that we did before on the other side, which is turn this into a rounded section. We're also gonna do some different stuff this time around. We're gonna have downward and side-to-side thrusters, which means oh boy, I put thrusters there. That's gonna be an issue. So we're just gonna slap this big guy here. That's looking much better. I'm liking the look of that. I can live with it. I want the downward thrusters here. So let's see. I've got room right here, and this area could be airtight. Let me get over here kind of close to where I can get this thing kind of built up. let me turn off the blue here. So I can just attach thrusters on either side. All right, that should have them on either side. All right, now we'll reattach the blue back to the system again, and then we'll go from there. There we go. Looks almost like a Star Wars cruiser. You're getting there, Elijah. You're getting there. Yeah, Leps, I was just thinking about that. Yeah, it is a survival world ship. Like right now, I'm doing a survival world, and I got to messing around. I got close to this, and then I got to thinking about it. I need to go back. I need to really plan this out. And it looks like I'm gonna have to go back and do a whole lot of grinding. Fortunately, a lot of this isn't done yet, but I am gonna have to do a whole lot of grinding when it comes down to it. Let me see here. Let's just go ahead and. I actually love this cruiser, and it's a big disappointment whenever I played. What was it? It's not Knights of the Old Republic. It's one of the Star Wars games. I have a mentality here, though, to turn that around, and then I can put my gyros right here on the side of it. But I'm building this to look vanilla for a just a regular ship that I can run in here and just play around with. Now, for giggles here, and this thruster is going to stick out a little bit more from there. Then we're going to have something that kind of runs up, if y'all know what I'm talking about. I forgot the name of it. Like the Architens. Yes, the Architens. That's what it is. It's the light cruiser. I love the Architens, but there's a game where they let you play with it, and it's like it's a light cruiser by every stretch of the imagination. It's not very good fight wise. Like it's actually no, it's good. It's good fight wise if you're using it like it's intended as just a fast attack cruiser. It works great. But if you get to the point of, oh hey, I'm gonna fly this thing in there and act like a bat, like I'm bad A, yeah, you're in for some disappointing times, my friend. It's gonna be a hurtful time for you. You're not gonna like it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run this around. Oh wait. Tell me I don't have to do that on the other side now. Oh my lord. All right. Well, we're doing a little bit of double work here. Okay, yeah. I'm going to need that there. Oh, no. I just realized I messed up here. Because we're going to have to take the blue off again. Architens and Venator are favorite Star Wars ships. Yes, I love the Architens. I love the Venator. The Venator is awesome. And you can't go wrong with the frickin' Venator. I think I'm gonna turn this into like two separate engineering areas. We're gonna have um, probably oxygen production in one, and then run nuclear power in the other side. And I've got enough room in here to do that without compromising too much of the ship's build. So that'll be good. Now what I have to do here is I have to put all right, what did I just do? Okay, good. I was sitting there and I disabled something and nothing happened. And I was like, oh no, we are having technical difficulties here. Okay, yeah. I need these done, and that will be almost all the system's done here. Let me check over here, see how we're doing. Yeah, we're doing great here. This is actually going to look a lot better than I thought it would. There we go. Now what I wish I could do is I wish I could put a can I? Nope. It just moves it over there. I was hoping I could put another mirror tool right there and it would just run the system, but I guess not. I guess we're not going to get that. Oh, well, we tried. I tried. It's kind of a boon, though, because now I can kind of work this system a bit because I kind of wanted to put some heavy armor blocks on this side where the hydrogen tank was to give it a bit more protection. So some heavy armor blocks right here are not going to be a bad idea. So let's go on here. I'm going to heavy armor this in as much as I can. And that should provide some heavy armor for side hits and stuff like that. This over here has got almost an extra layer of armor protecting it. So it's just strategically figuring out where the armor is going to have to go to make it all, you know, almost unbreakable. Oh wait, we've got another section here I need to look at, figure out, and there. So now all we've got 4 thrusters for each side, 8 thrusters for the bottom. So when this thing curves upward, it's going to turn and it's going to just bring the whole ship up as hard as it can. So we got 8 thrusters pushing up. I may add more thrusters before it's over with, but right now we've got this going and it's actually working out pretty good. I would love to build a Venator though. In fact, I have a project that I need a Venator for. So if I could build one, that'd be awesome. Okay, now we're going to go 3 here. There. All that's done. Clone Wars is my favorite era. Yeah, there were I like ships from the Legends and the Clone Wars era. Legend ships just kind of went crazy after a while. Clone Wars era was just real kind of height. Now, in my particular version, this central mast here, or this central nacelle, is sticking out about 2 more blocks. Because I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit of an asshole and make mine stick out a little bit more, make it look a little more, V-ish shape. So the one in survival is a little different. This one here is gonna be purposeful survival. It's gonna be meant to be survived in. Oh yeah, there we go. That is 3 friggin' engines ready to go, and that looks pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. That has the big heavy thruster. Like, oh wait, I just realized I've got to put some small little pieces there just to make everything look nice. I wonder what the problem was. I was looking at it and I was like, hey man, something just doesn't look right. There it is. Thank God for the mirror tools. I'm doing twice as much work in half the time. Okay, so back to our design here. Let me see here. I'm gonna also, I think we're gonna start from there. Let me grab this corridor block here. I'm gonna run this to, I'll say right about to there. Actually, there's enough room right there. We'll put in a small ion thruster bank. That's about 6 thrusters right there we could throw in. That I don't have to worry too much about how they're built. We'll kind of recess those back in a bit. Let me see. How much room am I going to take up here? Oh, we're going to take up quite a bit. That nice low-level blue right there is just giving me issues. All right, we'll put one there, and one there. And that should give us at least 6 ion thrusters so that when we take off with this thing, it'll move out there. Old Republic also pretty neat. Yes, I liked the comic whenever I could read that. What was it? The he had the weird gauntlets that had a crystal that absorbed lightsaber radiation and could actually resonate it on the same frequency as the magnetic field that they used to hold the plasma. So they'd hit his vambrace and he'd just glow like whatever color the lightsaber was, and he could stop it with just his arm. That was pretty good. Had a weird albino elf lady in there too. Sadly, never got into that era. Sad, a lot of good stuff. Way better than most of the new canon, without a doubt. Yeah, it is the Legends canon was awesome. Let me tell you something. If you didn't realize how good Legends canon was until it was all gone, and we were all just looking at it like, oh man, what did we miss out on? What did we lose? Well, some people had to be special. Put it like that. Let's see. If I cut here, I'm going to run the risk of severing my entire ship. And I don't want to do that. Let's see here. Oh, frick, I need light. Didn't realize I needed lights. Let's see. What can I do here? What can I do to make this actually go a lot simpler? Number one, let's go to our one deals. Now I'm gonna just pipe this up real quick. Because then with the pipes, I know what I need to do. There. Now I can attach all this together. Yeah, it's still attached. I'm sitting here going, uh-oh, what did I just do? There. Now that's all attached, I think. quickest way to tell is to go over here and hit this, especially when you got the mirror tool on. If something is not attached, see, I can't attach that there. We'll just do this real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Whenever something is not attached, you'll see the mirror tool will not engage. If you are moving your mouse and suddenly the mirror tool starts glitching on and off, something's not attached to your ship. So far, we've got everything attached to the ship, and I've got one room for oxygen development and the other room for a power supply. And then I have this here, so now I can also access all my hydrogen tanks from the inside, which is pretty darn cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty darn sexy. Or I can make this the main. I can make this the main room where everything goes at. So, oh good lord, Darth Revan. Oh yeah, Darth Revan was cool. They also had the Jedi Knights of the Old Republic comic book, which was amazing. Let me tell you, that was an awesome comic book. Now I will have to run some type of deal through here, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna need to be able to access these from here or from some other point. Eh. I either can access it or I can't. Or what I could do, I could just pop a hole up here, put a door, and just jump down there and work on it. It'd be the easiest thing to do. Let's grab a corridor block right here so I can make a corridor in here. Here's a question. How do y'all feel about circular tubes? Yeah, it looks good. There we go. And then we go back up to the lighted one. And there we are. Now, the only other issue I'm going to have here is I need to put some batteries in here somewhere. I think 2 reactors are going to be enough to run everything here. Maybe I'll run 2 reactor cores. That seems like a better option. And then I can just put my O2 generators on the outside. Like I can bridge the gap right here for the O2 generators right here. And then it's just easy to fix them. I can just go outside and fix them. And they're protected by the freaking iron plate that I have on top of this thing. So that's a plus. Now, the next thing is I need to put... We got 3 hydrogen tanks on this thing. That'll really work. The comics are actually really neat. There are some things that are described in there and done that you really gotta get into the comics and see what is happening so you know what all is going on. There are things that happen in between the movies. Like there's one part where Princess Leia ends up going to try to get this one alien dude's help. And they send Leia because they're like, yeah, she's a good negotiator, and she gets there and the dude's kind of produces an aphrodisiac, which creates all kinds of problems. Like, oh, that's how it is. Like the rebels kind of made a big mistake there. Oh wait, I don't need to do this here yet. I need to push this out just a bit more because if I'm correct, I'm going to be putting one of these large thrusters on each side. So I got plenty of stoppage. And that means just extending this out a little bit more. At least one. But yeah, that was a oops. Like I said, the Legends comics have all kinds of stuff. There's also one about Boba Fett, and the books and the comics in Legends. Boba Fett is an absolute menace in the comics and in the books. Later on in the books, Boba Fett, comes out of the Sarlacc pit like he does in the Mandalorian series, except instead of being running around out there like he does, working with the Tuscans and taking over just a small place. Nah, Boba Fett goes out there and he gets a new starship he calls Slave 2. And after he gets Slave 2, he goes out and starts he starts making his name back up. Morgan Charles here. How you doing? And while Boba Fett's doing stuff, he goes to a planet at one point because his dad is the clone. As a clone, he is technically the heir of Fett, which if you read the actual comics during, I think it's the Mandalorian Wars, the clan of Fett is they're the ones that are just whooping ass in the galaxy. They go in and they're just doing all the good stuff. They fight the major wars. They're responsible for a lot of things falling, and they do so super honorably. They're like they go in, they kick everybody's butt, and it's like honorable butt kicking the entire time. And Jango Fett is a foundling of that clan, so he is the adopted son of a king, basically. And Boba is the clone of an adopted son. And when they get there, holy crap, when they get to position and they start and they're like doing stuff and everything. The last thing on Boba Fett's mind is going in there and becoming, the king of Mandalore. Lo and behold, he's out there in the universe one day, and suddenly he is on an asteroid near Mandalore after it's been blasted. He's messing around in this area trying to survive, and he finds the Mask of Mandalore, which is what Mandalore, I believe he's Mandalore the Great, which was a Fett at the time. Either the Fett or his commander was a Fett, or they were both Fets. But he is the one that started the Mandalorian Wars, blasted through the galaxy. He is responsible for so much shit this dude has cut, and that's why he's known as Mandalore the Great. He's responsible for so much crap that's happened. And so Jango Fett, who is looked at by most of the Mandalorians as, oh, you're kind of like um what is her name? I forget her name from the Clone Wars. I forgot. But she ends up becoming like the queen of the Mandalorians in the Mandalorian series. They all treat him like her, like she does. And then Jango Fett finds this mask. And Boba Fett finds the mask. And Boba Fett comes in there with the mask of Mandalore. And by the law of Mandalore, if he has the mask, he is Mandalore. Straight up, he is Mandalore. And so Boba Fett comes in and he says, all right, you're going to run the Mandalorians the way I say we're running them. And nobody's giving me any shit. And if you give me any shit, there's going to be problems. And so the Mandalorian's like, all right, the clone just got in charge. And Boba Fett goes from taking Mandalore from ragtag group of warriors. He then manages to consolidate all the Mandalorians, reinstates the passaging, which is or there's a form of passage, a rite of passage where people can become part of the Mandalorian forces. They can recruit them. He starts mass Mandalorian recruitment, starts putting them all through hell, makes them really tough as nails warriors, and he brings back Mandal Motors. He brings back all the Mandalorian manufacturers, West Star blasters, all that. And then after all that is done, he becomes such a freaking menace to the Empire that Palpatine's only method of controlling Boba Fett is to unleash a virus specifically coded to Boba Fett and Boba Fett's family in an attempt to get him off of Mandalore. While he's at it, Boba Fett goes in there, gets into a major battle, and he fires off some sort of super weapon, which blows a whole massive crater into Mandalore. And all the Mandalorians are kind of getting pissed at him at the moment. And during the course of it, they start checking out where this massive energy laser hit, which cracked the surface of Mandalore, takes a huge chunk off of the planet Mandalore. And they start looking, lo and behold, there's the largest dadgum vein of Beskar they have ever seen. And they get done. The Mandalorians go from, well, we've got a little bit of Beskar inside of there, so we can call ourselves Mandalorian 2. Now they're like Din Djarin, full fucking Mandalorian Beskar. The ships are made of Beskar. The weapons are all Beskar. They're now just blinging Beskar all over the place. Like, yeah, we've got a metal that's almost as indestructible as Frick, which is the hardest substance in the Star Wars universe. They're like, yeah, you can get through our shields, but some of your blaster fire is gonna do jack shit for the first couple of shots. So it's wild if you read some of the Legends canon of Boba Fett. That dude does some cool shit. Looking through here, I got these nice thrusters. I'm gonna have to do something with the outside of them when I do some coloring. But that's looking good right there. That's looking nice. Now, I need to take this from here to that. I want to do a sharp angle. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to read up on some Legends canon, find an old Legends book or something, just grab it. Because it is going to be, that is the old school. That's old school, and it is amazing, that stuff in Star Wars. The stuff that you can read on the older stuff. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. Let's see. I think I'm going to be far enough out here. Why am I only building on one side? Okay, we gotta redo this here. I do not know what the heck just happened here. What is that? How'd that end up there? Oh well. Hold on, something wrong, something wrong, something wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but I only built half this stupid thing. Okay, so that is all in the same category. I'm still trying to figure out what. Oh! I know what I did wrong. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I see now. I understand. I was being a complete idiot. My bad. Booyah. Check that out. All right, that's better. Now, I messed up over here somehow. All right, that's done. Go here, and I will start bringing this back out here. And that should get us over 6 blocks from those main thrusters, so it won't be too difficult, and I can probably get this thing. Let's see, how big is that? That's not near as big as it needs to be. I think that's pretty good. Let me check here. I've actually got a I got a pic here in my gallery here showing me just how big this is. Oh. So, the Architon's main deal actually comes out almost parallel with this. Let's put a temporary block right here and just run a temporary set of blocks so you can see what I'm talking about. It comes within a couple inches like that. That's actually pretty cool how large that is. And then I can work on the rest of it going forward. All right, we'll kick this off here since I don't need that anymore. And then I will take that out as well. There we are. So that's looking pretty good. So now to make that look even better, there we are. And we're doing this. And you see how that's working. Now for the side point here, 1, 2, and probably 3. And I'll run one more. And then it's going to go 2 from here on out. Oh yeah, that's looking awesome. And that will be just straight. I kind of figured this would be an easy way of doing this. And then, if I play my cards right, I might have enough room to run like a small ship out of here. It's like that, I think. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room to run stuff. Run a medical bay on one side, eatery on the other. Run a main cockpit area up top, which is going to be fun to figure that one out. And then I'll have to stair step the rest of it down going into the system because it's going to be fun trying to make all that work. But anywho, back here, because one of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run this pipe out, run it up, and then run it underneath, and then have kind of a rounded system here that I can hook it all into. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put these blocks in right here. Now, I'm not going to put that last one on because I kind of want the one block there. And there's also, depending on the variant, you are going to have... Oh yeah, that looks amazing. It's a little bit longer in the one deal. I may do a stair stepping or something just to make it longer, because that angle is almost not the same, but it works. And our connector, our airlock, is right here on the side. So that's where the airlock's going to go. All right, that works. I may. I'll have to connect this a few ways so that everything kind of runs properly like it's supposed to. But what I could do is I could just go through here and set up a corridor running the length, and also need some freaking pipes running the length because we might have a gun here on the side, and we might have a gun here. I may also add 2 missile launchers to this stupid thing and have some real fun. Now, right above and over, there would be a couple of turrets. The particular version I'm looking at has about 4 turrets, no, 8 turrets pointing in one direction. And it's got 2 large swivel guns and 2 double barrel swivel guns, or 4 double barrel swivel guns running along the edge of this thing. But yeah, that looks like an Arc 10s. Looks a lot like an Arc 10s. It's just hurtling through space. It's not totally an Arc 10s look, but it's getting close to it. This is something just for survival. This is what I wanted. All right, let me get back to YouTube here, where I can see what you guys have been saying about it. But yeah, now with that out of the way, I can start working on, based on what era of Arc 10s. This will be a Republic Arc 10s. It's called a Command Arc 10s. So it has four cannon positions, 1 and 2 on the top and bottom. So it has 2 cannons on this side, and then it will have 2 more cannons here. And then the bottom does about the same thing. I think the cannons are a little further back. And then it's got like 1 swivel gun here, that's double barrel, a single cannon swivel gun, and then another swivel gun right here on the sides. I will probably add a missile launcher somewhere in there so that I can fire torpedoes out of it. So, yeah, because I got the room for a torpedo launcher, period. There's no way I couldn't use that and have some fun with it. I think what I'm going to do also, as I need to look at this section here, this is going to come up a bit. I believe just this section, and then there's going to be an extra box that goes around here. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect by any means, but it will be as perfect as I can get it. And I may also add an extra kind of lip to it. What about 1 block? And then a half slab for the angle. That would make it longer. We may do that. That may be something I do here, because the angle needs to be a little bit sharper. It does need to be a little bit sharper. And honestly, I could put enough. We're already doing the stair step thing back here for that. Oh, this is going to be a lot of iron. I'm gonna have to actually build a mining vessel just to mine out everything I need and make it work. But then at that length, I could actually have a pretty decent size hangar right here, as well as you could fit one of my Mako missile launchers on either side of this thing. So it's 2 Makos that could be fired at a target, and then I could still have a couple miniguns popping off here and here for perimeter defense, and then our 4 main assault cannons. Just do assault cannons because it doesn't need to do much else, and then that would be enough firepower to defend this thing, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's let me see what my distance here is. That's 1, 2, 1 to 3. There. This is where we're gonna have to start stopping at. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna run this all the way back to here, so everything's connected up. And then we'll just delete these to a point. So we'll probably be right about here. Remove that. And I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to just remove all of this. And I'm going to... Let's see, how will that work? Okay, we'll do that. Then it's going to be 3 long, I think. No, wait. Hang on, I'll have to figure this out. There we are. That's working out. I don't want to look at it until I get it done, so... Oh, whoops. Nope, needed 2. Got ahead of myself there. Got ahead of myself. Oh, that is nicer. Oh, yeah, that's giving us the length we need. Look at that beauty down there, folks. Just take a look at that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, it looks amazing now. Now we're pulling some good stuff. So there we go. We got a semi framed out Architens. We have a bay right here for something. I could put some type of small ship in here. Don't know what. I could build a small Z95 headhunter, I think would be a perfect ship to put in there. I can make that work. And then everything else just kind of comes together at this point. So let's go ahead here. I'm probably going to fill this area. Well, I don't know about filling it. We'll do something with that later. Let's see. Do I have... I know I got it here. We're going to do this, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do there, so we're just going to... Yeah, we're going to have to watch and see what I do here as I figure out. Now you have all the room. Yeah, I do have all the room. That was actually a pretty good idea, Leps. Thanks. Because it got the back angle is perfect. It's this forward angle. It needs to be a little bit longer. Like I said, I hate stair stepping, but right now this is one of those builds that I'm going to have to make it work. That sucks. The best part also is I can line some decoy blocks in this forward section here, which I may do that already. Let's do that. Where's the decoys at? We'll just start decoying that up. I have a plan for the decoy blocks there. Let's see, everything's connected? Yes, everything's connected. I can do a little bit of modifications here. So we got our forward knockout points, and I'm just going to cover this section with some blast door blocks, because there's really no reason not to. Do that, and then in between here we'll do full-size blast door blocks, just so this has a little bit more defense, so that when it's being shot at, things are just bouncing off of it, and I'll run some plate up over the top here so it looks a little bit better. But yeah, if you know anything about decoy blocks and how they work now, when you engage a target, your decoy blocks have to be the first thing that the ship sees, and then it will start targeting that. If it's not the first thing that it sees, and like if you've got a gun that's a little bit like right here on the tip, and you have your decoy back here, the system will target that gun first, then it will target this if it runs it as a system. So wherever the decoy block is, that's what's going to be targeted by the other fleet. And I may run a few decoys on the side here to put them as the first things that are really going to be caught in this wedge shape as we bring it forward. I do like that look, though. That is really nice. It looks really good. I like it. I normally don't like this stair-stepping nonsense, and I'm actually liking how it's coming up on this one. All right, let's head over here. Actually, yeah, we need to do that here. And I don't know what we're going to do there, but I know what I'm doing here. I'm going to slip this around so it has a little bit of variation right here. So it doesn't look like it's entirely the same. Whoops, those were heavy armor blocks. That's going to add some weight I don't need. Slip on over here to number 5. See, we still have that variation coming along. Now, another thing I mentioned was there's probably going to be an upper somehow. Mixed armor? Yeah, probably. So you could put in railguns. Yeah, but the thing is, I've learned that missiles are far more terrifying than anything you can just slap on. Even custom built weapon systems don't hold a candle to a terrifying little missile coming barreling at you at Mach Jesus. It is one of those things that's just, it's a very ruthless little monster that you're just going to have to deal with when it comes in, and it is just too much fun to use them. So that's probably what I'm doing there. I could do this, or I could just, well, this is giving me too much. Here's a better idea. We'll just use panel blocks. Because that, and also, I just realized something else. With, whoops, I went a little too fast, too hard. With the panel blocks, I can stick them out slightly. Let's do that. There we are. You can actually create that lip now. See what I'm talking about? So now we got a slight trench, which varies the entire design a bit. And then I'm pretty sure that this section here is going to raise straight up and come forward a bit. And then this section is going to come up even higher than that to make the main bridge design. So I'll have to be careful with it. And then running across here, we'll have to do somewhat the same thing over here. Or it may not. I may just thicken that out and just have it thickened up. So when we get to that point, it'll just be a lot better. Because most, like I said, most of the fire is not going to be coming at the system there. And I can still leverage that and make it look better. Start some slight stair stepping as we go up, giving me some nice angles. Nah, I think I can do this too. I just got to delete a few of those. And there we go. You see this kind of differentiation there, and then I can actually color that into a kind of odd looking deal. Manipulate this a bit over here. It's just carving and working, and that's ultimately building stuff in SE, is just carving it and building it and making it look good. Since I got that there, we're going to delete some of those so that I can stair step that section, start that stair stepping right there. And that may have to become a sharp upward. Even basic guidance makes it better. Yeah, I really need to balance them to where they are as good as a weapon. Because vanilla missile kind of bad, or rockets more like it. Vanilla missiles, the Mako, it will hit a target and it'll tear something up. Like it's just the design of the missile. If you try to build really, I found out that if you try to build really, really big missiles, they're hard to build. You're basically building a ship and you're trying to throw a ship at a target. Whereas if you just build a small ship missile out of small blocks, and like the Mako has 2 warheads, so it's got double the damage dealing capability. But because it doesn't have a forward thruster, it's just pure speed coming in. It's not the thruster. If you put a thruster on the front of a missile, it starts to mess with it because it's trying to go at a certain speed. And if it goes too fast, it will try to slow itself down. So you get this kind of variation. But with a Mako, it just comes in at pure Mach F. And if there is a gravity generator on the other ship, the gravity generator pulls it a little bit harder. So when it hits, the first part of the missile will crumple, and that's enough. The gyroscope is on there, so that's enough damage factor to crumple that, to completely bust into that first armor panel that it breaks into in a large block. When it detonates, it's inside, right below the surface, so it takes a huge chunk out of the other ship. As long as you've got them moving fast, about 75% of them are going to hit and blow up. The other 25%, so like 1 out of 4 missiles is going to not blow up. But I did a demonstration on one of the build streams where I launched a Mako at the Red Ship Corvette. It damn near cut it in half. It's like when it works, holy crap, you're doing a lot of damage. The only problem with them is when they start hammering and hitting other areas, which I may put a broadcast controller. The Makos that I put in here, probably I'll replace one of the event controllers because I'm just going to be shooting them straight out. One of the event controllers is going to be replaced with a, how do I put this? I'll replace the event controller with a, probably replace that with a broadcast controller. So, and then equip that to the ship so that in mid-flight, if I see that the missile has already blown through the target that I want to blow up, I can swap it over to a different subgroup of targets, make it go in there and whack it. Yeah, the other thing you could do also, like Eli is over here posting up some really good stuff about it. Wanting to make the flares act like a decoy, you could make a decoy missile really easy. That's when you want to put that forward thruster on the bottom, add a decoy block, and then set it to where it will come at the target and then it will veer off and have it veer off kind of quick so that if the target's shooting at it, if it does take it out, it's still targeting that decoy. By then, you could launch one decoy torpedo and then lob make two other hard hitting missiles. By the time the system realizes, oh crap, we're under attack, the other two missiles have already hit the system. They're already within range and there's no point in stopping it. You can lawyer the rules to a point where it only benefits you in the long run. Okay. Let me look here. I will have to hop out of here for just a second out of chat. Oh, that's a nice angle. Oh, that is really high. I'm probably going to have to add two parabolic antennas to either side of this thing. Or at least to the back of it. Okay, so we still get a rounded section here in the back. So I'm still going to need this rounded section here. So we're going to have to build that out and round it to about there and then start accelerating this thing on up. Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, that leaves a whole lot of area for me to play with. No. Let's see, how far am I going to take this? Take it there. Oh, that's going to be interesting to do. When does that start? Oh, that angle actually starts much further out. Well, that was unexpected. So here's what we're going to do. Because I had not expected that. Don't worry, I'm not losing it. This is the beauty of... Yeah, it's not moving. All right, that's the beauty of that. So now I can redo this and put it where it needs to go because I didn't realize I wasn't looking at that good enough and didn't notice it until did not notice that until yeah, that's gonna do different. That's gonna be different. That's a lot more length than what I had anticipated. It's going to get longer, folks. It's getting longer. It's getting thicker. It's getting girthier. All right, that's where we were before. Now let's go grab this. Now let's look. Oh, yeah, that's way better. It's not entirely perfect, but it is going to give me enough room to do the jumping and everything else that I need to make it all work. Glad I went back and looked over my and I'll put a picture of what I'm using up in the Discord so you guys can take a look at it and see what it is I'm building, how I'm building this thing. Oh yeah, look at that. Check that out. That's looking much better. So now I can do that rounded section that we have there and then start pulling up because there's a part that if this were in the middle, it starts right here and then starts moving upward. And it's about the right angle of the actual block. So it's going to get pretty tall really quick. And that's going to be sitting up over the top. Or I may stair step that one too. I don't know. I don't know. It looks, well, actually, I have to stair step that too. Dear God, that's going to be fun. But, oh well. It has to be done. It has to be done. Let's head on back here. Get back to you guys on YouTube. Doing the Imperial Architens, I see. Yes, yes. Well, no, not the Imperial Architens. This is just one color. This is how I tend to build craft because I don't like having um trying to color it as I work on it. Because if you do that, you end up with why did I just do that? I needed that. Everything tends to get weird after a while. And it tends to pull away from what you're trying to build. See, this is that badass content we all want to watch, isn't it? I'm random dude on the internet just building the Architens. So when I get out there, I can just pretend the Clone Wars theme is playing in the background of my head as I go in there to wreck somebody's pirate shit. Okay, what do I do next? Oh yeah, number 5. No. Yes. All right, do all that, and then I need to kind of get. I mean, honestly, I have enough room right here for the frickin' hyperdrive. That was unexpected. Did not expect that to happen. Like seriously, I can put the hyperdrive either up or down right here. Just run a hose underneath it and go up. Like probably split it and go up the other side. I did not expect that to work that well. Huh. That's gonna do really nicely. Survival friendly. He's going for the Republic. Yes, I want to be able to scream that for the Republic as we fly our Arca 10's survival cruiser. The Arca 10 survival cruiser is going to be flown in here and do some damage. I don't know how effective this thing's going to be to fly, but it's going to be fast. It's going to be able to hit those engines and take off as Mach frick. I don't know. I may add another. No, no, we'll stay here. We'll stay here with this. I can just simply go from here and run in the jump drive system, and this single ship will have just a limited jump drive range. I can actually put that down here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's drop a jump drive in there so I can. Why did I do that there? Where? Yeah, let's do that. Hit the wrong button. Let's grab our jump drives. And yeah, I know y'all are sitting there thinking, oh man, we'd like to see Badger use the new jump drive. Well, I'm using the newest of the jump drives. We'll have this one, I think, would be the best option. And that can just be part of engineering right there. Let me see and make sure that when I put this in, we're not going to interfere with anything else. There. That's awesome. We can actually run a corridor through here, hook into this section. I think we probably could just run the deal there. And I could hook. Let me turn this off so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. We have our jump drive here in the middle. This will start building up. We have this here that's going to go up and over. I could strap. See, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I want to put oxygen tanks back here and oxygen storage. We're going to want to put an oxygen tank here and some type of oxygen storage generator or something to that effect here. That way I can run back here and just access everything I need to access. I think we'll put the oxygen storage there and maybe an oxygen tank here just to attach to and do that on either side. And then fill the inside of here with storage. That'll make everything work out pretty good there. And then here I may attach 4 small reactors here, or 2 small reactors there, and maybe 2 small reactors here, and that'll just be the power generator. And then in here, I can add, let me see, we can run the O2 generator from here to there and have it connect into, yeah, run it here to there so that if I hack into this, it'll be fine. And then I can run an oxygen tank here. Then on this other area, we can run on the other side of the ship, which is going to be an issue I'm going to have to solve also, getting over there. Because I really don't want to go running all over the ship. I'm going to have to figure that. Actually, I've got the room. I've got the room here. Do I have the room? I don't think I do. How long is this going to be? We have just enough room to make that work. I love this new generator, and it's going to give me that over the top area that I can use to get from point A to point B, and then I can start piping through the entire ship. The problem that I'm going to run into is getting from one side of the reactor to the other, and I think it's just better if I just walk around. Probably. It'll be a trip. It'll be a trip. But then this area in here, I can slap into I can slap in an assembler, a good assembler, and another O2 tank, and voila. We have O2 storage here in the back. We have a workshop where we can build stuff. And then it's just figuring out where to put storage. And I've got area here for small block conveyor storage. The only problem is piping up to it, which might have to be done here. And then while I'm at it, I can strap in on these corner sections. I can actually put in airlocks or frickin' vents, which hopefully don't give us any real issues. But I could slap oh, here, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Do the conveyor. And then I need, where's my frickin' nuclear reactor here? 4 reactors will be enough to maintain something. So we've got one of those. We're going to use the warfare reactor for this. So just like that. Oh, check that out. And so you'll just have a nice open, this will open the corridor up right here. Come around. I'll probably cut this and make it like an opening corridor. So this will open up into a main corridor, one of the square ones. So that you can walk by. And if I put a vent on the bottom here, that'll ventilate this entire area. And I believe it will make everything nice and airtight still. And we'll still have an airtight area. This room can be ventilated. You can see the jump drives charging up. And then got some power. Let's see what she looks like. Because we have forward. So there you go. There we go. Check that out. Clone Wars music playing in the background. It's looking nicer. That's looking good. Check the time here. 3:38 where I am. The engine cal made me think it was the Imperial version. Yeah, I'm kind of building this for survival. I would love to build one with the Imperial variant. But then on top of this, we can also add, oh wait. Can I? See, that just makes everything look like it's part of the system. I might add 2 more there. So we've got several, pull this off. So you can kind of see what we're looking at here. And then maybe run some batteries along the top. Let's do that too. Let's grab some batteries, because we're going to need those. There. Now, here, you can actually see the batteries up there too. So we can actually run everything from here. And then I can just add a small block up there. Let's add this feet right here that I'm fixing to do. We can add a conveyor. Hold on. Let me grab a vent block. We'll grab 2 vent blocks so that I can easily vent this thing. I have to put the air leak finder on here. I don't know. Do that. And then do that. And there we are, folks. Now what happens here is, well, we can't see crap at the moment. But this thing will be adding ventilation. Oh, we got vents on either side. That's awesome. So the vents will be adding us stuff on either side. And then I can run a main pipeline through there to this point, and I can actually just, yeah, that's working out perfectly. And then that will end main engineering. So you can go here, this will drop. We'll have a second conveyor port here. That'll drop down, and then we'll have just 2 sections of conveyors running down through there unless I want to open up and add an area where you can walk up. And that'll be it. Then I'll have 2 large conveyors that can run the full length up to about here, and then that can be branched off from here into the next sections of the ship. So then it'll all work out beautifully. Check that out, folks. That's going to be our survival ready Architens right there. Now, from this point forward, let's grab this and see how friggin' high I can take this next section here. Let's see. Now, where does that go to? Dang. It's almost twice the height of the entire ship right there. Actually, there's a much better way of doing this. Or do I want to do it that way? No, we'll do it this way. See, she's getting the height now. Let's see what this looks like when I get it done. Oh, yeah. That's exactly where we need to be at. So then with that going around there, I need to somehow get up to that area, which means I may need a maybe some type of rounded staircase going up to here. And then, because right about here is where the system needs to end at. That's when we need to start building the forward command tower. And then I got to add some stuff to it, like radars and all that other cool stuff, so we can see enemies coming before they see us. And then we've got to go down over to a point. It's looking like that's going to have to be a little steeper. Well, I was right. We're going to have to go a little bit steeper with it. Okay. Stairs 1. On 2. Because it is going to have to get... Oh, no. It's going to have to get a little bit higher. Or a little bit further down the ship, at least. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Okay. How's that looking? That's better. That's better. That's got a little bit more length to it. And from the looks of things, I could probably expand that out just a bit more. And then to finish this section up right here, which connects, there should be like a square section here, and that's where I'm probably going to put a parabolic antenna and some other stuff. But it's looking good. Not everything is perfect, but I'm having to make some concessions here just to make it all fit properly. I'm a little too close, though. I am just a bit too close. Just slightly too close. I need like a third of the length, but it won't look good if I do it the other way. Well, maybe not. Well, we'll take this out. We'll redo it. I know. I know. I'm being annoying right now. So I got to looking at it, and the actual system is going to come out a few more blocks than normal. So that is one of the things I ran into. So let's just kind of meet it out here to see how that's going to come together. All right, should come to there. And if I'm looking at this correctly, it should drop to about here. Oh, crap. I just realized I have been sitting here making this nonsense happen the entire time. Okay, that worked out. I'll have to stair step that bottom section probably. You can see where that's going, and then this is where the actual bridge section has to stop right before it gets to the connector area. And this is where the connectors are going to be at. It's these 3 blocks here. So that'll keep that from getting too wild. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. It's also the base of it, which comes out here pretty good. I think I'm going to half block the top of this. Where is that going to start at? It starts a little bit further in, so let's just grab a block here. Actually, we could start half blocking right here. Thinking about it. And it's going to go pretty far in here, this one squared off section. Yeah, that's going to be right up to it, apparently. No, not right there. There we are. And that'll probably tip out about that far. And then it'll probably just come straight down. I'll straighten it out somehow, probably with one of these. And then we can do that. How this will lock up everything when I'm done. Well, that's the real question. Oh no, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. Let me out. Let me out. Okay, we will need a block here to cover that. And then this will just be a regular corridor coming through here, and then I'll have extra areas right here. I'll probably cover that with a whole lot of probably have some more engineering stuff in there just for engineering purposes. But I'll cover that with regular blocks. Actually, the that back section is going to be almost completely flat, except it's going to start to slope up here to a point where this is at, and then this is going to slope downward to a point. So I'll have to figure that out while I'm going. Yeah, I could do that and then just add some glass right in here on the outside. Just so you can look out at the, you'll have like a mess hall here and something else, and then we've got all this room to do whatever the frick I want to do with this area. I am going to add missiles. That is going to be a main concept here. Missiles are going to be a thing. That is something that I am going to get in there and get done with. Yeah, I know. I got mirror mode for the bottom. The engine cal made me think it. Oh yeah, I've read that one. Space engineers, it's kind of hard to do a 1-for-1. Yeah, the real Architens is probably much. This is probably either 1-2 or 1-3. Because in reality, the Architens is way bigger than this. It's a much bigger ship than this. So this is just, hey, guess what? You can have as close to an Architens as possible. Now I could probably try to beef this up. When I say 1/2, I could try to beef this up, but then you're adding more thrusters, more crap, more everything, and this is just a reasonably sized ship that you can build yourself. I am liking the way this is looking, though. Dear Lord, that's looking amazing. Now I just need this area in here corridored. And that'll be kind of interesting to have corridored off. And then I may have an area in here where I'll have like supplies and stuff, and we'll run some stuff around. That's fun. Let's delete that. Go to number 6 on the corridors. Where is the one that goes into a square? All these circles, all these squares make a circle, as they say. I don't have access to that. Where's a T block at? There we go. Now I can access the hydrogen tank if I have to. And we're gonna T block that. I'm then going to add a corridor light in here. So I can frickin' see. And then we're going to have another T block here. Actually, no, I'm going to have a straight X corridor right here. Another one of these. One of those. I don't know where this corridor is going to go. I may just corridor around in there. Just make this a T block. That would be much easier. We'll do the T block here. Nope. Yep, just like that. Oh, crap. There we go. Check that out. I just got to fix this one. There, so everything's looking kind of good. And then a T block here. And what I want to do is a corridor with a small window. And there'll be no need for a door because frick why. I will have to engineer something to feed into that area, and then I can just cover this area in blocks up top and on the bottom. The nice little 1 blocks. And just kind of corridor this area off. Add some shelving and some other stuff to each side. There we go. We have storage on either end. Actually, I've got access to this over here. We could run an access port from there and run a whole bunch of storage containers, like small storage right there. And that would make everything work. Still needs thruster direction. No, it doesn't. I got all the thrusters. I've got thrusters on the bottom, thrusters on the side, set of thrusters on top, 3 main thrusters and 6 small ion thrusters on the back, and 2 main thrusters on the other end. The engines are done. Like, we don't have to worry about where the engine's going to go. It's got some engines on it. Let me test the thrust on it. Let's test our thruster capability while I'm at it. Should really install some gyros. Let's put some gyroscopes in just in case. Put 4 of them in, and I'm going to put in a comm seat. Let's put a command seat here. Kind of fly this thing, see how it's going to go. And then 3. And 1, 2 gyros there. Like I said, we've got everything we need. See how she... Yeah, see? Now, rotation-wise, she doesn't rotate that good. But she's already at max speed. And we are not losing any thrust, mind you. Yeah, she moves pretty quick. Like I said, she's pretty slick. Dang, maybe a few more. But that's just me. Hell yeah, the movie's HD. Elijah sitting here like that's just me wanting a little extra. She doesn't have to move. She moves like the Architens. A couple more gyros and she'll move pretty good. But she's got the thrust. You can fly this thing in there and do all kinds of heck with it. Now, she is going to get heavier, but we've got the main thrusters pushing. If I want to add some thrusters somewhere, I may do that at some point. Now, the one problem She does not want to turn. She doesn't want to rotate for nothing. But it's moving pretty good. Like I said, we've got the thrust to make this thing work. It'll fly around like nobody's business. It's just that rotation. We don't have the turn on it. She could probably use another, what, two or three more. Yeah, you see how fast that thing accelerates, though. And that it's already got heavy armor on it. Yeah, see, she's running real good. It's just the yaw. That's what I've got to perm, or the roll. I may add a few more thrusters to the front to give her a little more upward push. But that'll probably be about it. Yeah, the hydrogen thrusters, there's enough of them there to get it to move. I mean, we've got the maneuvering thrusters to get a literal cruiser where I want it to go. And I could add a couple of ions in the front just to give it a little more oomph. Like I said, that moves pretty decent. She needs a few more gyros, in my opinion. That may be what I do. I may just line this entire section with gyros. Let's see how that works. That gives a little more armor to the... Let's just see what that does. Putting the gyros right there. Oh, yeah, she's rotating pretty good now. See, there we go. Took like what? 5 there? That's probably going to become something I'm going to have to add to this thing constantly is more gyros. Let's see, we got a gyroscope section in here that I can run right across. And then we'll add a couple storage containers right here with its own oxygen supply. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll have all the equipment we need to make this bad boy work. But right now, it's a functional ship in its current form. Now, I do need to go in and add some more stuff to the back because it's going to run out of hydrogen real quick. See, I think the thruster, the connector for the thruster is right there. So I could just latch right into that thing and go to town. I can move stuff over that way. Let's see. That's another 4 thrusters right there. Let's see how this thing turns now. And mind you, it's a cruiser. It's not supposed to be fighter ship levels of capability. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. That'll work. I'll just have to move some gyros all around the ship and set them up. Yeah, she's turning out really nice. I'm liking this thing. If I can do that, I may put a door right here on the front if we're gonna do the one deal, adding cargo containers to the inside, because once that takes a hit, that's gonna be a nightmare. That paneling is not gonna withstand a whole lot of damage, but it will have a lot of defensive stuff going in there. Elijah Postel, okay, she was pretty quick. I would greeble it so the gyros look like they're part of the engine. That'd be an interesting idea, actually. I should consider that. Actually, tell you the truth, I've got room. There's actually a space here where each of these thrusters are. There's actually space on the other side of where those thrusters should be at that we could put in. I could strap a I could strap a few more gyros just in there just as emergency backup. You see right in here I've got a little bit of armor plating because that's where there's some heavy armor here because that's where hmm the let me think. That's where the hydrogen tank is located. We've got three of them on this thing, so we've got enough hydrogen to run this. I just need to figure out. I need to get that figured out quick because if I don't figure out oxygen and hydrogen, man, we're really effed. So I think one side I could devote that, probably devote some processing power somewhere. All right, that works. Uh, let's go here and here, and I'm gonna need. At least an O2 generator right here. There we go. And then let's see, I've got the see these new oxygen tanks. How do they hold up? Oh, that'd be interesting if I could put that right there. Actually, I could. I was just sitting here wondering how I was going to get around all that stuff. I just realized what I could do here. Okay, that's creating an issue. I do have a problem here. How much room is back there? Let's go find out. Oh, yeah. We're going to greeble, boys. Let's greeble. There's our oxygen tanks right there. That worked out beautifully because now I can turn that section there. Oh, heck yes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the mirror tool real quick. I'm going to disable the side-to-side mirror tool. Let's see. What am I going to do here? I want to put oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I want to put maybe another O2 generator here. And then on the opposite side, I want to put. We do have the thin doors. Yes, we do have the thin doors. We'll greeble it so the gyro. Oh, yeah, I've already read that. happening here? I'm not live with y'all. I wasn't at the same site that y'all were at. So let me check here. Uh, Refineries and assemblers. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to put a big giant refinery on this. At least I don't think. I can put a massive assembler on here, that's for sure. I don't think I can put a giant refinery on here. I don't think. Like I said. But what I could do on the opposite side here, well, let's get around this. Yeah, that's going to work beautifully once I get it figured out. Is that, yeah, it's still there. Okay. We'll drop see, this is the one issue I'm going to run into. We'll drop an assembler here. And then I'm going to put a turn right in here. Just a nice little corner block. See what that looks like over there. Yes, that's perfect. Now, number 6. So I do want a small refinery here. Boom. We have a small refinery. We have an area in this room that we can go in and do some work to, and we can have some interesting things happen. Now for the other room, I'm going to add one more O2 generator. That's cool. There, everything looks nice now. So now I can access the ice here. We can access all this stuff will be accessible. Let's go ahead and grab because we got the new doors. Where is it? Where is it? Nope. 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 Yes. This new door. And is airtight. So we got our first door here, which I've got to get stuff figured out. And then what I can do is I can just slap another door like that right here. We can put in a programmable block on this side, giving us a little bit of programming. And then just work. I believe I need a conveyor coming out to here. And then we can line this wall here with conveyors. Or, I can line that wall with storage on either side. So these will be 2 large storage areas here for players. Looking here, if I can get this in the bottom, this bottom section right here, I could probably fit a large refinery in here if I put it in there at a 3 by 3, or if I go by 3. The bottom towards the front, yeah, I probably could. I'm sitting here thinking that right now. I was just thinking it. I could probably fit that right about in here on the frontal half because the Architens is broken into two main halves. You've got your primary engineering over here, and then you've got your primary warfighting over in this direction. So now I can kind of build up this ship in either direction and start getting it in a position where it'll get done. And right now, let's see just how well she turns because she's got more gyros now. And see, she turns pretty quick. She's still just as agile as she was before. Yeah, this is turning out way better than I thought it would. Ah, yeah, but that is doing awesome right there because that's where we're at right now on this Sunday stream. And this is just going to be something I do. I am having to get off now, so we'll be finishing up the other half of the ship later on. I also now see how much freaking work I have to get done. Like if y'all want to see, all right, we're gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna give you guys a really nice look at this, so I can let me hop down here so I can get a really good angle of it. Actually, we'll go this side so I can get a really good angle of it, because then I can see everything. Yeah, that's a much better angle. Let's jump here. You guys can now see that. I may build a small shipyard to build this thing in while we're in the next stream so that it'll feel more like a ship build than anything else. But yeah, this is what this thing's gonna look like. I'm gonna use this as kind of the thumbnail for this one. I'm gonna pull a thumbnail off and put it up here. I'm gonna start trying to do that as much as I can. Pull a thumbnail or some nonsense of it. Wow, the stream looks really nice on my end. It's streaming really good. So to give you guys an idea, you see this nice dude here. We're gonna save changes and hop out. And I'm gonna load up uh let's see. Star system. Yeah, we'll load this up so you guys can see how much work by freaking hand I'm gonna have to do. There's gonna be a lot. And this one isn't even totally exactly the same as this one. I may just go through and start tearing some stuff out and moving some stuff around just so I can make it all work better, which wouldn't take much. And I've made some mistakes while building that first arc, while building the first arc of tens. There's a couple of mistakes done to it that I need to address and fix to make it look better. Let's see, come now. Come on, we're loading up. But yeah, there were some issues that I had building that Architens, the first one. I'm now seeing after I got it in built a little bit and worked with a deal. Elijah Postel looks awesome. Yeah, you're about to see what I have been working on by hand and how much I have gotten done. So we're in survival mode. This is what I was working on. You see where I kind of messed up. I need to pull that central engine forward, which is going to require me to pull some stuff around it and manipulate it. But that's what we've got going. I've got these tanks just filling up. Like I said, we're in survival mode. You can see all my stats are going down. And that's how big the Architens is compared to my current ship. And also, oh yeah, I forgot. I've got to figure out where to put stuff that I can use to grab algae while I'm at it. That's going to be interesting to figure out because we're going to need to get food. Well, it's a patrol ship, but I do need food. I am going to need food on there. And this has actually been a pretty cool little idea. I need to put one of these on somewhere on that ship to where it'll work because this little thing here will grab hold and then it will just start turning towards the sun. I can actually do this with just one. If you put both of them, it turns out the tops of these things will actually connect together and you can run it off two rotors but hook only one of them up to the system um without having to use the my brain is not working, without having to use two turret controller blocks to make that work. And then I may also add some type of solar somewhere on the ship, because we're going to need a solar panel somewhere to build. Well, no, we've got nuclear power, but I do need solar panels for, emergency power. We need emergency power every so often. So we're going to need some emergency solar panel power, which I might incorporate some of this into the top instead of using the panels. We may just add that to the top of it, so it's just kind of like a thing you can look up and see out from engineering, from inside the storage area. We could run that right there. But like I said, I've got a lot of work to do by hand. Let me see here. That's already one of the things I have been after, is an unknown signal. Yeah, we'll run out and get this and see if I get anything. I probably won't get much of nothing. I've been getting most of the graffiti stuff. It's just little things I'm working on. But yeah, we're going to do this Sunday stream thing where I'm just going to build something random off the top of my head. And this is just pressure relief, because as I'm building something that y'all want to build, there are things that I'm sitting there going, oh, I can build this. Oh, I can build that. Oh, I can build this. Oh, I can build that. Now I can, if I do a Sunday stream, I can let a little bit of that creative pressure off. Then my head won't explode. Yeah, I've got level tier 2 stuff. Let's see what we got here. Probably nothing. Yep, that first one when I load in just doesn't operate very well. But I got medical kits now. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. The grinder is loud as frick. Let me just grind this down real fast. Grab this. Whoops. Yeah, I'm wanting to do more stuff. It's not that I don't like doing. Let's see, where am I at? Beacon, over here. That's where I am. Let's see, is that it? Yes, respawn pod. It's not that I don't like doing the stuff like the mammoth and everything. There are some builds that I just want to do, because this was just, the Architens was just something that along the week I started trying to build it, and I've finally sat back and I thought, I need to look this up and figure out how to build it. And then I got to looking at the engine design, and I was like, oh, I done effed up. So I've done effed up a lot. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to rework this entire engine so that it will it'll look better when I put it in there. But yeah, I figured if I'm gonna go out here and search for crap, I might as well look good doing it. That's what we're. Fuck. Well,
is low.
no shit. Oh shit. Now I'm hungry again. It was not easy getting all the way up there.
Energy low.
And my freaking hydrogen is low. Let's click on some lights here. No. Lights. There we go. All right. Let me slip on out of here. Find my body. I'm over here and slammed into the back end of this thing. All right. Let me grab all this stuff out. Yeah. I'm not the best person. I make mistakes. I get killed in this game. It happens. It happens a lot. Now I gotta buy a couple more sodas and try and jack my health back up. But and then I gotta figure out the hydrogen. I think I've got those on bleed or storage. So that is an issue. Yeah, I feel the same. Many cool ideas, but I don't feel like I have the time. Then again, my computer is bugging out this week. Yeah, man, I hope you get that thing done before we get the next recording session, because we were a little scared to use Sparky the whole time we were working. We're sitting there like, man, we need Elijah to get back here and drive this thing. He's got to chauffeur us around. You guys dang. But yeah, that's where I'm kind of standing on that nonsense. Well, I'm hoping you get that computer, because I know it sucks when your computer just starts messing up. I had my computer blow up one time, or fragment out, because I downloaded a game. And the game ended up being a lot more strenuous than I had anticipated, and it caused a whole lot more problems than I had anticipated. But yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this. I think I'm gonna have to come back on here with my grinder, grind all of this back down and put it into a storage container somewhere, and then begin reconfiguring all of this so that I can get it all to work back again. I've got the materials. I know that. I've got the materials to make this work. It's just going to take a little bit of time to figure it out and make it all come together. Also, because of his survival, I've only got one forward thruster for this Architan. So, as I am building this bad boy, I'm going to have to jump more areas and maybe commit to some pirates here. Get me a nice little uh drone going to go get me some materials so I can start refining stuff as swiftly as I can. But anyway, folks, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for seeing this lovely little survival game that I'm doing at the moment and see all the cool stuff that I've been working on. I'm going to build some more cool stuff. There is a ship for the pirate stream that I'm going to have to pre-build. I think I'm going to pre-build some serious ships. The Bounty is going to get some serious upgrades. She's now got the fork section on the front of her. Pretty similar. I may go in and rework that fork section, but we're going to use that section like a set of mandibles. And because it's going to be big enough to grab most of the ships, we're going to go in, take out a ship, and then we're just going to move the ship in, grab hold of it with a system, and start cutting her down because she has a large cargo container. She's got her own systems to enable the ship to start. She has an advanced assembler, so we can start disassembling anything we throw into that ship. We can have one guy just hitting that disassemble button in the oxygen while we're just cutting it down. We can put a series of ships, and it's just going to be our pirate salvage vessel. We're going to fly it in there, take out a target, and as we're taking it back, we'll already be just grinding that sucker down with grinding ships and whatnot, moving it into position, setting it up, and doing the coolest stuff. Just doing the really cool stuff. By the way, folks, like I said, this is the little thing we're gonna be doing. If you guys want to see the rest of what we're doing with the pirate stream, like I said, we are probably 3 good episodes in. I want to say we're in 3 good episodes in. Let me check here. I believe the last video to come up. Let's see. I think the last video was Chip and a Prayer. Yeah, we're episode 4 will be coming out this week. So yeah, you'll be getting that going. That's episode 4, and we have recorded up to 13 episodes. So there is a whole lot of content that you could binge out right now for $1 a month. I mean, just $1. And I'm going to keep adding to it. So you'll be getting those videos as quick as possible. And here's the thing, one recording session, I get about 3 to 4 videos. So 3 episodes are going to be coming up during the week, and I'm going to be posting them up during the week as I edit them out. And it's just going to be cutting out the best parts, putting up there, and you're going to see just the fun stuff that happens while we're out there. Each episode's going to be us solving another problem or dealing with another issue. So yeah, that's the cool part about that particular situation right there. Dog Soldier, can I jump in? Now I'm fixing to get off because about another 30 minutes it's going to be church. I'll be on tonight though. If you have the ability to get in tonight, we could do that. We'll either do, if you want, we could either do, you could hop in with the build, and I could probably do another build stream tonight before I go to bed, or I could do some Helldivers. That's what we could do. I haven't done a lot of Helldivers. I need more Helldivers for shorts because that's the stupid part. YouTube pushes the YouTube pushes certain things like the community tabs, all this. I do the community tabs and stuff because YouTube is like, if people don't participate in your stuff, then we don't consider your channel to be doing crap, even though you are getting views. So then I have to do all that, and I need shorts because shorts drive people to the channel. So I've got shorts for this, and I got a couple other shorts for some other stuff I need to get up and get them going because that does more It does, because if you put up a bunch of shorts, then YouTube will take those shorts for the first week, and my shorts pull like 1,000 views. Basically, the membership, those shorts will pull that many views, and that's just people watching the channel, seeing what's going on. And so I try to put up the funniest stuff that I can put up, things that like stupid crap that happens. But yeah, folks, like I said, I'm gonna have to go because in well, 29 minutes, I'm gonna be heading out to church. I got to help take up offering, so that's fun. Anyway, I am Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. I'll see you guys in the next.